What up, guys? Your boy Quake back with a brand new episode of the Diverse Mentality Podcast, number 369. I hope you all are doing amazing because I'm feeling great. Once again, you guys are going to hate me for this, but I'm not going to be doing any rankings or anything like that. I know I said the Eminem one I would do, but I've been really focused on the YouTube, on the main channel side of things. I had to go reach out to YouTube and get a manager or whatever it's called, a channel manager. Because after you reach like over 500,000 subscribers, you get like a personal manager for your account. So they treat like those channels. They consider over 500,000 subscribers a big channel on YouTube. And I'm at 700 or something. So they have like a personal person you can talk to. So they went over my channel and we're talking about like, I was just frustrated. I was like, how am I not getting views on videos that I'm releasing? It's getting really low, blah, blah, blah. So they suggested a few things and, you know, we're adjusting things. And the Sha Money Part 2 clip ended up, it's at like 35,000 views right now, which is way better than what anything else was. I mean, that's the best I've done in views in a really long time, actually, sadly to say. It's been a while since I've actually done like 100,000 views, actually, now that I think about it. It's been a long time. Last time I did it was that documentary, The Drake versus Kendrick Lamar. That was the last time I reached that 150,000 views I think I reached at that time. So, yeah, I don't remember exactly, but yeah, it's been a long time. So I'm going over that. I'm kind of dealing with that, and I want to make sure that the main channel is good because that's where really everything is funded from. Everything rolls on that. If that doesn't go well, everything else starts to slowly crumble. So the beautiful thing is, even though I don't got as much time to focus on doing the rankings on the podcast, the beautiful thing is I am solely focused on a documentary right now, which has been a long time where I'm just working on one project where I don't have like multiple things I'm working on. Because for the past, like, I want to say 8 months, it's been like, oh, work on this documentary while you're doing this interview, while you're, you know, podcast, while this, whatever. Right now, besides the podcast, it's the only thing that I'm really solely focused on. I'll help here and there on social media stuff, but other than that, like now I'm finally working on a documentary, and this is a really cool story. I'm hoping to get it out within a week because it's not super long, but it's not short. It's like, I'm thinking it's going to be 20 to 25 minutes maybe. I anticipated it to be to like 15 minutes, but now that I'm actually adding some different pieces to it, I might actually rechange the whole title of it because I have it titled something that's interesting, but you know, it's a really cool story that nobody's ever talked about. Like, it's the same thing with the G-Unit chain story. Nobody ever talked about it. I, you know, decided to talk about it. Boom. It did like insane numbers. So I'm hoping this does the same thing because it's a story that I've seen nobody cover at all. And if they did cover, it's a very like short piece of it. And there's way more to talk about around that story. So I'm excited. I'm fully focused on that. And that's kind of where I'm at right now creatively. So, and I got a bunch of stuff going on behind the scenes. I can't wait. I cannot wait till you guys get to actually see what's going on because it's crazy, man. I'm not gonna say anything, but it's insane, man. It's how do I say this without giving it away? It is something that, let's just say, I didn't expect to happen. Let's just say that. All right, let's just say that something I didn't expect to happen. It can be a broad range of things. Who knows? But let's get into the news. There's quite a few things, especially with this episode being 369. There's a lot of 6ix9ine stuff that we're going to be talking about. But first, updates. And Drake and UMG have scheduled mediation. So their whole lawsuit, Drake appealed. So let's go over it. Drake and UMG are heading for round 2 in their lengthy legal battle next month. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit is ordering them to mediate on December 19th, 10:30 a.m. Eastern. This, of course, is a result of the Toronto superstar's appeal over his defamation suit's ruling. Chief Circuit Mediator Kathleen will preside, although it's taken place over the phone. This mediation is going to be a platform for Drake and UMG to discuss the legal strength of their respective positions. Settlement options, in addition to finding solutions to any other issues, will also be talking points. If this winds up ending poorly for Drake, he will be the recipient of jokes for years. Although it took some time for a decision to be made, his January suit was bluntly denied. Yeah, people are going to go in on him if this appeal doesn't work as well. They're really going to go in on him. So we'll see what happens. So right now it's going up for mediation, and December 19th. So that's roughly a month from now. If they don't have a strong case, man, that the judge is going to throw this shit out as well. The Chief Circuit Mediator, Kathleen, she'll probably end up. I don't know how the mediation and what happens after that. If there's a process after that or whatever. I'm not too familiar with court stuff all the time, but yeah, we'll keep our eyes posted on that. Speaking of court stuff, prosecutors respond to Lil Durk's request to remove the judge. So let's go over this. Prosecutors in Lil Durk's ongoing criminal case have addressed the allegedly threatening voicemails that apparent fans of the rapper left for Magistrate Judge Patricia Donu. According to new documents obtained by All Hip Hop, the state argues that the remarks were not serious enough to warrant removing the judge or disqualifying the prosecution. The law is clear that threats or other attempts to intimidate the judge do not ordinarily require recusal, prosecutors wrote, following defendants' reason, and any time a district or magistrate judge in a district is threatened, regardless of circumstances of the threat, defendants would be allowed to disqualify all judges. Additionally, the prosecution countered complaints from Durk's legal team about not having been informed of the voicemails beforehand. They suggested that they had no obligation to inform the defense because the threats targeted the judge, not only evidence specifically. As for voicemails in question, they were sent as Durk remains behind bars while awaiting for his murder for hire trial. And they said if they get life, I'm going to burn this motherfucker down. Yeah, we talked about this before, but yeah, they added free Durk or we're going to shoot that motherfucker up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's fucked up, man. Like I said, man, there's stands out there that are just have lost their damn minds, or just, you know, who knows, man. Maybe Durk's gang affiliated people are just randomly caught, which would be the dumbest shit ever. Like, why would you do that? Now you're just bringing more heat to yourself. So more than likely, it's stands just trolling or actually being psycho and serious. So that's an update on that. They said, fuck no, the judge is stands. So yeah, I guess Durk's gonna have to deal with that judge. Los Angeles has decided to basically look into Diddy. So this is not looking good for him. This is another situation where, you know, it could escalate and there could be charges on the Los Angeles side of things. So let's go over this. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department is investigating a sexual battery allegation against Diddy that is entirely separate from the 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution that have him residing in prison. According to a new report from NBC News, the allegation stems from 5 years ago. A male music publicist and producer claims Diddy invited him to a photo shoot at the warehouse in Los Angeles in 2020, where he was going to discuss an upcoming project. There, Diddy allegedly started, you know, stroking his chicken while he was watching, you know, adult content before fully exposing himself. The man says he avoided telling anyone about the incident at the time out of embarrassment. Regardless, the next year, the man claims 2 men threw a bag over his head and brought him to Diddy. The bad boy mogul allegedly screamed at him and labeled him a snitch. Diddy's attorney, Jonathan Davis, addressed the investigation in a statement. As Mr. Combs' legal team has repeatedly stated for over a year now, he cannot address every meritless allegation in what has become a media circus, he said, adding that Diddy categorically denies as false and defamatory all claims that he sexually abused anyone. He looks forward to vindicating himself in court where such matters are decided and not in the media based on admissible material evidence, not rank speculation and unsubstantiated allegations. You guys see that photo that came out of Diddy where he looks kind of old? He's got a bunch of gray hairs, man. He's looking mad old. That hair dye ain't there anymore, but yeah. Crazy, man. Crazy, crazy, crazy. The investigation comes as Diddy remains behind bars at FCI Fort Dix. That is a crazy prison to be at Fort Dix. That's like, I think Diddy requested to be transferred over there. Like, that's a crazy name for a prison, by the way. But yeah, we'll see what happens with this. I mean, if there's any merit to this, any proof, any evidence, he could be facing charges in Los Angeles as well, which is crazy. This guy would never be going home at that point, but we'll see what happens moving forward. Let's talk about 6ix9ine. This guy has managed to reinvent himself in the public. He is now on live streams doing funny reactions, talking about certain rappers, and a lot of people are loving it. They're totally forgetting about the whole snitching thing, and a lot of people are saying the whole snitching thing doesn't matter anymore with the Young Thug situation, with Gunna, with 6ix9ine now. People have kind of moved on from it and are starting to accept 6ix9ine again in the public, and a lot more people are starting to collaborate with him and do stuff with him. And hey, man, he is a funny, entertaining guy, whether you like it or not. But just recently, his house got burglarized. A bunch of men came in there seeking cars, money, and he was on live stream with another live streamer, Jack. His name is Jack Doherty or something like that. And while he was live streaming that, they came over to his house, and put some guns in front of his mom's face and just basically threatened her and tried to steal whatever they could out of the situation. So let's go over the article and see exactly what went down. Tekashi 6ix9ine's Florida crib was ransacked by 4 gunmen last night, and new security footage shows just how scary it got for his mom, who was held against her will, and even the family dog trapped inside. TMZ has obtained surveillance footage from Sunday night after the intruders slipped in through the garage. In one clip, you can see Tekashi's 60-year-old mom face-to-face with burglars, her voice shaken as she begs and pleads while the dog runs around confused. One intruder stays posted up on Tekashi's mom while the others tear through the place, and before long, the chaos spills outside, which you can see play out on more surveillance video. The masked man grabs her hand and steers her one way, and as something catches his eye, he then walks right back inside with the dog trotting behind them. Cops later swarmed the place with the K-9 unit, but came up empty, and the Palm Beach Sheriff Office tells TMZ they were asking for cash and car keys, and they may have sped off in a getaway car before the officers got there. You guys have to remember that Tekashi is also facing some prison time for violating his parole. So let's go over that. The incident occurred as he will be returning to the courtroom on Thursday for his sentencing hearing after he violated the terms of his supervised release back in August. He faces between 3 to 9 months in prison. Prosecutors have confirmed they will be seeking prison time for the rapper. While it brings the government no joy to seek a custodial prison sentence for a former cooperator, the court must send a message to Hernandez and other government cooperators or those considering cooperating with the government, but they are not above the law by virtue of their status as cooperators. Check out the footage first, and then we'll talk about what's going to be happening after.
Hey, stay out here. You're right. Yo, come on.
As you can see from the footage, it did get hectic, and 6ix9ine decides to address what happened on his Instagram stories. At first, he posts a reel of him bumping his music, and in the caption, he says, "The devil is working hard, but my Lord Jesus Christ works even harder. Amen." And then on his Instagram stories, he decides to actually address the situation.
What's up? So I want to make this video to clear up all the fake news and rumors. So the world knows this. It's a fact. I'm on house arrest. I've been on house arrest. I think everyone in America and everyone across the world knows that I'm on house arrest. Yesterday, they allowed me to leave for work. People, I guess, saw that I was on live stream with Jack Doherty. They took that opportunity to fucking do some... Like I said, it's me, so I get it. The rules are different for me. But if it was your favorite artist, your favorite actor, and that was done, they don't get no cool points for that. My mom is 60 years old. Y'all know I'm supposed to come home. Y'all know I'm home all the time. I'm on house arrest. So y'all take the opportunity that I'm not home. Y'all see me on live stream with Jack Doherty in Miami, and y'all do that. That's whack. Get no coupon for. I don't think nobody respects that.
Now, you have to think 6ix9ine is probably one of the worst people to be live streaming, because here's the reason. He snitched on a whole gang in New York. They obviously hate him for doing that. They obviously have a target on his back. So when you're live streaming, they're going to know at a certain point, they're going to know where you guys are at when you're live streaming. And that's not the best thing for 6ix9ine to reveal his location of wherever he's at. I think he's getting a little too comfortable, but I mean, hey, it's his life. If he feels live streaming is the way to go and he's obviously rebranded himself. I mean, a lot more people are posting him. A lot more people are talking about him, but he has to be very careful because of the whole Treyway thing. And those people still haven't forgot what 6ix9ine has done. Don't you think that just because some time has passed that they moved on from the situation? No, they're seeing this guy live still a lavish lifestyle, still talk his shit, and still move around. And they don't like that. Trust me. That's not, they're not just going to let that shit slide. But, we'll see what happens moving forward. It is a tragic situation. And hopefully, while he's locked up, because he's going to serve anywhere from 3 to 9 months, hopefully nothing happens to his mother. I mean, his mother doesn't deserve that stuff. I mean, his mother can't really control what his son is doing. I mean, he's a grown man at the end of the day. So whatever happens in that situation, we don't know. But I'm just glad that nobody got hurt, especially his mom at 60 years old. That's definitely not something that she should be going through at all. And I agree with 6ix9ine, man. That's a sucker move. If you're going to, go at somebody, go at the actual person directly. Don't go at their family. But that's what comes with this lifestyle. Things like this where people you don't want harmed get harmed, and it can go really downhill really quickly. And it doesn't seem like really 6ix9ine has learned his lesson. I think he's kind of more crazier than he was before to a certain extent. Obviously, with his probation and, he has to watch out what he does, what he says, because he can violate it. And then obviously, like right now, he's looking at some time. So he is a little more tamed, but it's still, out there with it. But let me know what you guys think of the situation, and we'll see what happens moving forward. Continuing on with 6ix9ine and the crazy stuff that's going on, he is requesting his sentencing gets delayed because he wants to relocate his mom after the home invasion. So 6ix9ine has filed a request to the U.S. District Judge Paul A. Engelmeyer to delay his sentencing hearing in order to give him more time to relocate his mother after armed gunmen broke into his home over the weekend. In a letter to the judge, the rapper's lawyer, Lance Lazaro, cited the incident in which the group held 6ix9ine's mother at gunpoint. The reason for this request is that Mr. Hernandez was the victim of a home invasion on Sunday, November 16th. 4 masked men entered his home and held his mother at gunpoint, while several other items were taken from his home, Lazaro wrote, according to All Hip Hop. My office has been in contact with AUSA Jonathan Rebolt, and he consents to this request. During the break-in, 6ix9ine was in Miami streaming with Jack. He believes the burglars deliberately took advantage of the opportunity to break into his home. So, I mean, that could delay his sentencing because he's looking at 3 to 9 months, and he just signed a multi-million-dollar deal with Kick to live stream because he's been getting a lot of basically motion clout for live streaming. So it's kind of crazy they're giving him that deal, but he's potentially facing 3 to 9 months in prison. So I guess they just want to lock him in to that deal so that when he gets out, he can't stream with anybody else. Regardless, man, these streaming there needs to be a streaming bubble that explodes because it's like the hottest thing for a long time. And a lot of people are getting paid. I personally just can't do it. It's too much. It's, I feel like the content, man, is just not, I'm not saying this for every streamer, but the content is like pretty subpar. Like it's somebody in front of a computer watching videos and then giving their opinion for the most part, like a reaction. Some other people are doing it differently. Like academics will probably like review articles in live time, like talk about breaking news. He'll do more breakdown of stuff here and there. But then you got like streamers that just react to stuff, and then you got streamers that literally go out of their houses and do all kinds of crazy stuff. And those are like Neon and I Show Speed or whatever. But streaming that much is just, I don't know, man. For me, I don't want my life out there that much 24/7. Like to me, that's just too much. My life is, to be honest with you, you can offer me whatever money you want. I probably won't ever be streaming. Like I won't be a streamer ever. I don't want to say ever because you never know. But right now, to me, it's not something that I've ever been interested in. But hey, I don't knock it, man. A lot of people are getting paid off it. So hey, I guess 6ix9ine has rebranded himself, like I said, and is getting to the bag. Wale stopped by the Breakfast Club and he talked about something very interesting. So first, I'm gonna play the clip, and then we'll talk about it after.
I remember I called Kendrick around that time. We talked about like we just had, that was at that time, and I remember like getting ready to have my child. I talked to Cole. That was probably the only 2 times I really leaned on an industry person. So. But the crazy thing is, False Prophets came out the next day.
I was gonna ask you about that.
False Prophets came out the very next day after But I ain't take it though, you know what I'm saying? But I think
He didn't tell you the record was dropping?
nah. But I mean, he said it's not really about me, but well, I mean, all I'm saying is that I love him. That's my brother, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think I kind of halted telling any industry person anything too deep, like around that time. Like I just like, you know what? I don't even want to think that they using this like, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
man.
There you have it. Wale says that he opened up to J. Cole, and the following day, J. Cole dropped False Prophets. For the most part, False Prophets was a diss track. Well, not really a diss track, but kind of like a track being disappointed in Kanye West for the most part. But on verse 2, there are lines in there that, you know, now make sense as to they're probably speculated towards Wale, because Wale back then in like 2013, 2014 would respond to critics a lot. He would be one of those people that would get on social media, respond to them, have back and forth with people. And a lot of people would consider him corny for that. A lot of people would clown him, whatever the case may be. So J. Cole's second verse talks a lot about that. He says in the False Prophets, I got a homie, he a rapper, and he want to win bad. He want the fame, that claim, the respect that's been had by all the legends. So every time I see him, he's stressing, talking about guys don't fuck with him. That shit is depressing. And I know he's so bitter he can't see his own blessings. And yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what to make of this. I don't know, like, what's the point of bringing this up? I guess it gets Wale in the headlines. I don't know if he intentionally did it or just through conversation, because I didn't watch the full Breakfast Club interview, so I can't say, hey, you know, Wale's doing this to get clout, whatever the case may be. But there's been a lot. It's been like a weird, I don't want to say smear campaign, but there is like a lot of like bad press towards J. Cole. I mean, him dropping out of the battle was a real big backlash that he got. Then you got the Cameron lawsuit, and now this. It's like, I don't know, maybe there's stories coming out that's going to come out with J. Cole just not being a good person. I'm not saying that he's not. You know, the Cameron thing, I'm sure that can be cleared up in due time, maybe whenever J. Cole decides to fucking drop his album, The Fall Off. This guy's, I don't know what the fuck's going on with that album. It was announced such a long time ago. I can't wait to get that album. But yeah, it's just interesting, man. So we'll see. I don't know. J. Cole's probably going to address all this stuff, maybe. Or maybe he won't. He'll just ignore the Cameron and this Wale thing. Who knows? But we'll see. But a lot of people have mixed feelings about it, man. A lot of people are saying J. Cole's coming out to be a snake, or just not the person that he says he is. He's not the stand-up guy that people always assume. I don't know, man. Not everybody. Here's the thing. Not everybody is going to like you. There are always going to be stories of people saying you did something to them, whether you did it or not. You know, like, you got to think I'm a human. Obviously, we're all humans. That sounded like straight up AI, or just like fucking I'm an alien. But us humans, we have all kinds of range of emotions throughout the day, throughout the days, weeks, whatever. You know, one day you wake up, you're in a great mood. Hey, you everybody loves you. You're showing love to everybody. Everything's cool. The next day you're mad. You probably piss somebody off. You know, so that day that somebody experiences you for the first time, or somebody, you know, like especially for celebrities, right? There's fans that come up, want to take a photo, or just whatever the case may be. Maybe that day they're just not having a good day at all, or they accidentally snap that day, and they snap at you, you know, and that can happen with anybody, let alone a celebrity who has to deal with this shit every day. As far as the industry too, like, you know, one day you could just vent to somebody and they might take it to use it against you down the line. Who knows, man? You know, humans got wide ranges of emotions. They do random things at random times. So you have to take things with a grain of salt. You know, you can't just, the problem is a lot of people will see somebody for the first time and judge them off that first experience, and that's it. That's who they are. When that's not really the case. You know, sometimes the first time you meet somebody, they're just not in the mood, or maybe they're really happy and excited, and then you find out, you know, they're really not this jolly person. They're really, you know, depressed, or whatever the case may be. Not depressed kind of serious, but like just more mellow tone, monotone, whatever, and just chill, versus, you know, energetic and crazy and happy and hyper or whatever. You know, so it's interesting when people get a first experience, you know, with me, you know, a lot of them say like, oh, the first time I met you, this, that, and then all of a sudden you're totally different, man. Because a lot of people that don't know me think I'm very serious and just about business, but the people that know me know I joke around a lot. I say random shit, and it's like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? And I know I do it on purpose, though. It's like, it's not like I'm just out here, having Tourette's and just blurring shit out. I troll a lot in terms of, just conversations I have. I'll respond with a meme instead of like an actual text, like just shit like that, where, people that know me personally know that, because I'm working with people sometimes, and they'll be like, man, I expected you to be as serious, like focus, blah, blah, blah. And I am serious. When it comes to business, there's a lot of shit that I'm serious about, but I just don't take life that seriously, man. I think, we're all here for a brief moment, and we're all going to become dust one day. It's not that serious, man. A lot of this stuff is not that serious. But yeah, I don't know how I went on this rant, but yeah, humans go through a wide range of emotions. Wale was going through his emotions, venting to J. Cole. J. Cole took it and made a song out of it. I don't know how Wale feels about that. That's, these type of situations, people are going to judge J. Cole, but really it's ultimately on Wale. Does he feel disrespected? If he does, then you can kind of look at it that way, but it's really on Wale. If he feels like, nah, it's just, that's what artists do. They take, experiences around them and they make it into a song, because artists do that, then it is what it is. But it doesn't seem like Wale's, I don't know, he seems like in the middle with it, not bitter, but not like cool with it. He said, the next day that song comes out, and it's like, that's why I don't vent to people in the industry. So he probably, especially when the song probably right after it came out, he probably felt a certain way. And that would have been a good battle, man. Wale versus J. Cole. Like, why didn't Wale just be like, yo, what the fuck? And just start battling him? That would have been a cool battle, man. Because J. Cole hasn't gotten into official battle besides Diggy. Like, I don't want to fucking, that was such a dumb rap battle that I'm sure nobody even remembers it. Right now I'm mentioning it to you guys, and some of you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. But he literally battled Russell. Is it Russell Simmons' kid, or what's the other Run DMC? Russell. Why am I forgetting the other DMC member? Whatever. It's one of the Simmons' kids, and his name is Diggy Simmons. And yeah, he was a rapper at one point, and J. Cole had some back and forth with him. I might actually do like a mini documentary on that, because that shit was funny. That would have been a cool battle to have, but maybe J. Cole will respond to this, and there might be a new battle coming forward. I think that would be cool. But yeah. Overall, interesting take and interesting clip. Spotify has acquired a company, and I want to talk about this because it's interesting. Anyways, first let's go over the article before I get too ahead of myself. Spotify has officially acquired WhoSampled, the platform that helps users identify samples over songs and remixes. The company announced the move in a statement on WhoSampled's website on Wednesday. Along with it, they've already begun implementing several improvements. This marks an exciting new chapter in our journey, one where WhoSampled will not only continue to grow and improve, but also bring its unique flavor of music discovery to the world's largest music streaming platform, used and loved by hundreds of millions of fans, the statement reads. It continues, through our recent discussions with Spotify, it became clear that we share a strong belief in the power of musical context and a vision for helping listeners go deeper into the songs they love. Spotify has shown a genuine commitment to our mission, and we couldn't have found a better home for WhoSampled. From there, WhoSampled confirmed that the site will continue operating as usual. Importantly, the WhoSampled you know and love is here to stay as a standalone platform and brand. It will continue to operate as much as it always has, powered by the passion of our incredible community and contributors around the world, and supported by multiple streaming integrations, the company says. By teaming up with Spotify, WhoSampled promises to improve in several specific ways. Firstly, they promise faster moderation. In turn, they note waiting times for submissions will drop dramatically. Secondly, their app will now become free for all users. Our iOS app is joining Android and becoming free to download, and in-app subscriptions on both platforms will soon be free for all users, the company explains. Lastly, there will be no more display ads. WhoSampled concludes this is just the beginning, and we'll keep improving the WhoSampled experience and building exciting new features together with Spotify. We're already working on innovative ways to explore music connections directly within Spotify, starting with Song DNA, an upcoming feature that will bring WhoSampled's magic to hundreds of millions of listeners worldwide. So basically what Spotify did is like, hey, this is a company that we could create on our own if we really wanted to, but we decided to just pour some money into this company and we want it for ourselves. The beautiful thing about this, I know some people are mad because like when big companies buy smaller companies, usually that smaller company obliterates into oblivion, and we never hear about it ever again. But in this situation, this is going to be a game changer for artists who have passed away, or artists who don't really make music. They're in their 60s, 70s, 80s, whatever the case may be, whatever age. Because what it's going to do is anytime an artist samples, it's going to track you to that original song, which is going to boost that original song streams a lot. Like, I'm surprised this hasn't been something that's implemented a lot earlier, because that's just a win all across the board. And that will incentivize legends to allow their songs to be sampled more, because some artists just don't allow, especially hip hop, to sample. They just don't. They don't want it. They want nothing to do with it. But, you know, if there's an incentive, not only just financially, but also to revive some careers, it would make sense. So that's why I'm excited about it, because I think a lot of older artists will get their, you know, just due, and will get their music streamed a lot more. That's really the genius behind this, is now really old catalogs are going to start seeing some growth, because really the bulk of the streams are coming from the 90s, 2000s, and 2010s. So if you made music between the 90s, 2000s, 2010s, you are, for the most part, being heavily streamed. It's very rare that artists from the 60s, 70s, and 80s are getting streamed like that. Michael Jackson is one of them. Let me see Madonna. Let's just see Madonna, what her streams are looking like. Because it's very, very, you know, it's not. So Madonna, Like a Prayer, is her biggest song at 695 million streams. That's great. But that's Madonna we're talking about. Let's see Elvis Presley. Like, I'm talking about literally some of the biggest fucking artists that ever existed. Elvis Presley. So his biggest song is 1.2 billion streams. But these are artists that came out a long time ago, whose music is getting streamed still, but this will boost it even more. And even those smaller artists that get sampled a lot. Let me see Sting, because Sting's been sampled a lot by the newer generation. So Sting probably has a lot of streams. No, see, that's crazy. Sting only has his biggest song is 492 million streams. And that's the one that always gets sampled, Fields of Gold. Or Shape of My Heart, that's one that gets sampled a lot. So that's at 463 million. But yeah, these artists could see a huge spike in their streams with that, like, connection. I think it's just dope too, just to educate people. I think education in music is very important, because that will open up doors for other things too. You know, who knows? Maybe a producer will see it and she be like, "Oh shit, this is where it's sampled from. Maybe I'll make a version, my own version with the sample." You know, so who knows? I think it's a great acquisition. I mean, like I said, Spotify could have made their own version of this if they really wanted to, but it's easier for them to just shell out some money, buy a company that's already doing it, implement because some of these companies, they already have the formula figured out, you know, so why, you know, start your own, have to figure out the formula, you know, go through that whole process. Because I was watching Steve Jobs talk about this in a recently new interview that never was released. And it was in 1996 as he made Pixar. And he said Disney figured out this formula, you know, with animation. And they realized how to, throughout, you know, Snow White, when that came out, which was in the 1920s or 1930s, the first animation, Snow White, that was in, like, I think the 1920s, let's just say. Throughout all that time, the 60 years that passed, because the interview was in 1996, whatever, 60 years that passed, he was like, they figured out, you know, steps to make this process a lot more seamless. So that's why Steve Jobs went with Disney, because, you know, they have history in it. And all that knowledge and wisdom over those 60 years, you're basically getting handed to you for free, essentially, by working with them. You know, and they both made a lot of money. And then eventually Disney ended up buying Pixar, I think in 2006, 2007, something like that. 2006, yeah. And, yeah, so that wisdom, sometimes it's just better just to pay for it and kind of just jump ahead of it, because that wisdom takes a long time. So I'm sure WhoSampled had a lot of different styles, different formulas that they work with, and they got it down packed. So that's why Spotify came in and was like, let's swoop this up and let's make Spotify even greater. But yeah, really cool article I wanted to talk about. So let me know what you guys think of it. Are you guys fans of samples? Do you guys go back to the older songs? I do at certain times, but yeah, it's something that I would enjoy more of. I don't even use Spotify, but this might be an incentive for me to go to Spotify, because I use Apple Music. Yeah, I'm like stuck into the whole Apple world, but yeah, I might actually go to Spotify because of this. If they implement it and actually have it in the system where, you know, if I click, I don't know, a fucking song that's sampled and I can see, you know, a line of records that are the original record that was sampled, that would be really cool. It's almost like Drake heard me when I said in the last podcast that these artists need to stop not doing interviews. Drake technically has done a new interview, and it's with Complex, and he did it through like email, which is the most old school, weird way of doing it. Who knows if that was even Drake responding to it. But he has decided to address his ICEMAN album and basically when it's going to come out, essentially. He didn't give a release date, but he said, hey, I'm planning on doing this, that. So let's go over this. Drake is currently gearing up to drop his anxiously awaited 9th studio album, ICEMAN, and he's setting expectations high. During a recent chat with Complex over email, he opened up about the rollout. So far, it's included 3 ICEMAN episodes or YouTube live streams featuring unreleased music. His latest one took place in September, and today, November 18th, he dropped a condensed version. This has resulted in theories that a 4th one is imminent, though that's not unconfirmed. During his interview, however, Drake was able to confirm that there's one more on the way. In fact, the Toronto rapper claims it's the best one yet to come. The finale would be our best work, he told the outlet. This is far from all Drake had to say about the rollout, however. I was asked by a creative partner what I love and hate about rolling out an album, he recalled. I expressed that I love the opportunity for a clean slate of thoughts and excitement and messaging when it comes to the music. What I hate is redundancy of this formulaic approach that's ingrained in our brains from early label days. Single video, album cover, post, etc. Drake had his sights set on something totally different, which is where the live streams came. While they've been far from easy to execute, he says they've managed to scratch the creative itch he's been feeling for quite some time. I have been dying to act and have been dying for a challenge, he explained. The game is extremely calm seas right now, and nobody's rocking any boat on the water. And so once we discussed a live stream rollout, it just sounded like a perfect mix of risk and reward for me. I get, I appreciate the live stream stuff, right? It's a different type of rollout, but you're not talking in it. It's some random shit. There's a lot of dead space, like a lot of dead space where we're just fucking waiting 40 minutes for something to happen. So these live streams, like, you're a billionaire, Drake. You can execute this way better and not have us waiting fucking 40 minutes for something to happen. If you're going to do these live streams, do test runs. See, hey, let's try it like this. Whatever, 40, go out there. Whoever the fuck is working on Drake's team, go out there, stream, live stream, grab yourself the best cameras you can grab it for live streaming. Grab 10, 20, 30 of them bitches and live stream and see how this works. Come back to me with the best results and let's do this shit. And that's how you do it. I don't think even Drake did that. Maybe he did say they were like testing things out a little bit here and there. But to have like 40, 50 an hour, of dead space, it ruins the streams, man. It's whack. It's boring. After the first one, it's like, okay, just drop the fucking music, bro. We don't want to hear this shit. We don't want to see weird ass fucking, I don't know what it was, looking clowns walking around you and pretending to booty rape you. Like, that's the last thing we care about. I would much rather prefer, he's talking about boring, all these streams and these old rollouts and all these stuff is boring, it's formulaic. Look at what Clips did. Clips did a perfect old school version, got us entertained. We were talking about them, love the album, love the interviews. What's wrong with going the old school route? Because you, Kendrick, J. Cole, whoever the fuck in today's time isn't doing interviews ever. It's like annoying. Like, do an interview when you do a rollout, man. At least towards the end of this last ICEMAN live stream. Answer questions. Talk about the Drake battle. Do something. Fucking put your feet to the fire at one point. But I get it, though. At least he's doing something different. I respect that. At the end of the day, regardless of what I'm saying, at least he's trying something different. That's better than nothing at all. So, continuing on, he addresses basically the conspiracies around each stream, and he likes that shit. And I hate that shit. I hate, like, when Drake versus Kendrick going at it, oh my God, man. People were breaking down bars and saying, oh, this is what this video means, and this is what this bar is meaning, and people were stretching it to the craziest imaginations. I mean, we got people assuming that Kendrick is dissing Drake on Poetic Justice or something, like Ghost wrote his bar. Like, we're going way too crazy with these lengths of shit. Way too crazy. Like, it got out of control, and that's what kind of ruined the battle for me. Speaking with Complex again, he said, discuss how the format allowed him to get feedback from fans in real time. He said, it wasn't something we spoke about, but it's inherently a byproduct of this idea. Being outside and getting a chance to interact with fans and initiate audience participation as well as feedback has been amazing, he said. We're likely to end every episode in a public location as a through line. and also to enhance the live element. Some people have picked up on this. It's also incredible to see people theorizing and either picking up on things or creating their own narratives. Elaborating on how fans have been discussing the narrative, he continued, I watch murder docs a lot, and as you get invested, you start to try and solve things before you even know where it's headed or what the answers are. It's like the sleuth energy. What did I learn? What did I miss? No pun intended, but yeah, it's crazy to see people make 2-3 hour videos on their thoughts and building conspiracies. It's interactive content, and that adds such a desirable element more than just a music video with cars and things and tings. So that's what he wrote. Not that those aren't lovely sometimes. Drake hasn't confirmed a release date for ICEMAN. He's put out a total of 3 singles so far. They include What Did I Miss, Which One, and Doghouse, which are, besides What Did I Miss, the first half. The rest are all dookie water. So I hope those songs don't make it on the album. What Did I Miss? The first half is great, and then the second half gets really, really boring. So, yeah, I can't wait for the album. I want to see if, Drake decides to actually live up to the album title and starts to, go off, become an Iceman, become cold-hearted, and just start shitting on everybody, man. I don't think we'll ever get that because Drake is just not that type of guy, unfortunately. He doesn't have that dog in him. Despite naming a song Doghouse or For All the Dogs, the last album. But yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see what this album comes out to be. And then I don't know if he has to renew the Universal contract after this album. If he does, will he go to Sony? Will he continue making music? Will he take a hiatus? I don't know. I think he should take a hiatus, but that's just my thoughts on it. I think people need to start missing this guy in order for his music to be appreciated again. Because he's 38, 39, about to reach 40. Take a 5-year hiatus, come back in music at like 43, 44. I mean, right now, rappers Nas is in his 50s, rapping like a king. So nothing wrong with age, man. At that point, you won't be that old. Take a hiatus, 4 or 5 years, come back, drop some crazy shit. People will appreciate you again. Right now, he's getting a lot of hate regardless of what he's doing. So we'll see what happens moving forward. But that's an interesting kind of interview. I'm glad he did something talking to Complex. That's really cool. Let's get into it. The Billboard Hot 100, and Taylor Swift is still at number 1 with The Fate of Ophelia. I hope I'm butchering that name, but still at number 1. Golden is still at number 2. Number 3 is Ordinary. Alex Warren still at number 3. Man I Need, Olivia Dean, went up to number 4. Opal Light, Taylor Swift, number 5. Daisy's Justin Bieber, number 6. Mutt, Leon Thomas, number 7. Kalani Folded, number 8. I Got Better, Morgan Wallen, number 9. And Back to Friends, Somber, number 10. Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas Is You. Wow, man, I'm about to burp like crazy. All I Want for Christmas Is You. That went up. So a lot of these Christmas songs are going up the charts. Chris Brown, It Depends with Bryson Tiller. Damn, this is number 16. It is climbing up. Last week, number 16. This week, number 16. But these Christmas songs are about to fucking cook. Look at that. Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, number 19. Jingle Bell Rock, number 20. Insane, bro. That's literally a money hack. Make a Christmas song and you're good to go. Going down the list, Gunna is at number 40. So top 40 hip-hop. Gunna with Burna Boy, WGFT. That song is slowly climbing up the charts, which is really cool. That's a slow grower for Gunna. And BX Plug, Hell at Night, number 46. NBA Youngboy, Shot Caller, number 51. Let's see. Cardi B, Safe, number 67. Tyler, the Creator, Sugar on My Tongue, number 69. G Herbo, Went Legit, number 70. Metro Boomin, Take Me Through There, number 73. Going down the list. What You Is, NBA Youngboy, number 85. Airtime, Cardi B, number 88. And I think that is it in terms of hip-hop. And that is it for today's episode of the Diverse Mentality Podcast. Stream on Spotify, Deezer, Podcast, YouTube, all that. I love you all. Enjoy the Sha Money interview because we are dropping parts of that. YouTube, I wanted to address this. I totally forgot in the beginning. But YouTube changed my membership price, I think, because someone commented saying it's $10.99, which it's not. It's $7.99. That's what the YouTube Rich Gang tier is, the YouTube version. The Patreon's $10 because you get the uncut documentaries as well. And I explained why they're separated because, unfortunately, on YouTube, I can't upload uncut documentaries because they still get blocked, whether they're monetized or not. Copyright detects them, they get blocked. So I can't. If I could upload them all on YouTube and just create memberships on there without having to do Patreon, I would. But shout out to everybody that is supporting on Patreon and on YouTube memberships. It means the world to me. It supports everything that's going on. I mean, $3 a month might not seem like a lot, but you add up people, and that adds up to some decent money to help support everything that's going on. A lot of the money is actually being used to help with editing, help with documentaries, help with stuff like that. So appreciate you guys as always. Have an amazing night, day, whenever you listen to this, and peace.